What is good, people? Welcome back to another episode of QTV with me, your boy Quackers TV, the #1 show in Espanol. As you can see though, Barcelona, they've sacked their gaffer, they've lost their GOAT. So what they need is a new one. And it is our challenge today to find it. And his name is His name is Tommy O'Connor. No, it's actually a guy called Julio Fuentes, who is basically the human embodiment of the cheese string man. But he's left-footed. He can play on the wing. It's good enough for me. I hope it is good enough for you. But before we do anything, Messi had his Ronaldinho. He had his experienced Brazilian left winger. And yes, I signed Neymar mostly because I did sell every single other attacking player, and I didn't want the fans to have my head the same way they had Ronald Koeman's. As you can see, the first team is here. But how will they do? Julio Fuentes, the new GOAT, slender man himself, 6'5", 121 pounds.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And there he is, already getting that footwork going, already running at people like the steam train he is. And honestly, his debut is pretty boring in the game, ended 1-1. So this is going to be a long video, so moving swiftly on and showing the game is pretty realistic. Third in the table. You'd think usually that's not that bad until you realise you're 6 points off Real Sociedad of all teams. And in the Europa League. Here's where the issue is going to lie. And this is exactly why I sold half the first team. Because there's no way a 67 or whatever rated player was going to get in their first team. We got 7 games from him by selling every single right winger. Depay gone, Aguero gone. Shown the back door. But finally, with some game time under his belt, finally with that little bit of experience he needed, he was starting in a cup final, the Europa League final. And boys, before we get into this, I just want to ask, this video has taken me over 24 hours to record, edit and now commentate. So if you could leave a like, it would be Julio Fuentes. It wouldn't go amiss like he's finished right there. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for your constant support. It's been incredible so far. Speaking of incredible, Fuentes into Neymar. Europa League final, it may be the lesser of the European trophies, but when you say cup final, that is where the GOATs are made, and that is where Julio Fuentes is showing up. Marseille letting his man, leaving him in the dust the same way as Zidane. My God, Neymar is so good on this game. I probably shouldn't compliment him too much because I think, frankly, we're all aware what he does with his loved ones. He's a man who likes to touch his own mum's batty, and that is something very interesting. But Julio Fuentes cutting in, and still looking like a 69 rated player. We will get him there, I promise you. He will get there. And this right here, boys and girls, is the first of many a trophy. The Europa League, it's not much, but to be honest, it's more than Barcelona will probably win this season. So I'm sure their fans will take it. Frankie de Jong wearing that captain's armband because, as I said, I literally sold everyone. I probably would have sold Ansu Fati and Pedri just to make more room for Fuentes. But then I genuinely do think I'd have had a horse's head left in my bed. Barcelona fans, they have a history of farm animals. Just see Luis Figo. But second season. One more season with Fuentes running number 30. If he wants to get that number 19, Messi's second number, he's going to have to earn it. And in big games, this is where coming face to face with Barca's former idolo, the European Super Cup, Messi versus Fuentes. and quite frankly they went 1-0 up. gave up because they were really, really good. Messi, you might have won this round, but we will be back. Julio Fuentes, halfway through Season 2, up to 74 rated, getting game time because I sent Trincao and Demir packing. I'm not exaggerating. We literally have 3 attacking players now. And clearly it's working because we're up to 2nd and still in the Champions League. Leverkusen, they didn't know what hit him. But boys and girls, this is the part where I tell you. Old Quacky's done it again. We are in the Champo League final, but not just that. We are the champions of Spain. Fuentes probably can't take too much credit, but he is only 77 rated. I'm not gonna lie. The idea of someone who's 6'5" and 120 pounds, quite frankly, is genuinely horrifying. So, oh, just quickly, for those of you who don't use pounds, because I know we're not all Americans, that's 9 stone. And he's 6'5". I've taught 11-year-olds who are 9. Yes, they are fat 11-year-olds, but I've taught them. He's 6'5". To put him in perspective, I'm 6'2", and I'm 12.5 stone. He is 3 inches taller than me, and 3.5 stone less than me. Speaking of pounds though, his price ain't going to go up if Wojciech Szczesny keeps punching in his face. That's his moneymaker prick. He's got a GQ deal. Dybala would absolutely obliterate his defender's ankles. Fine Locatelli, and in Kevin Fuentes' I call him Kevin Fuentes, I don't know why. I've called him Kevin this entire time I was recording as well. They would go 1-0 up. But when there's a will, there is a goat. Fuentes finds Neymar! And Neymar Jr. looking like the daddy right now. He ain't going to be called Junior much longer if he keeps pulling these out. Oh, yeah. Go back to the Prem, you bloody Brazilian nonce.
Bye, Felicia.
Anti-Fatty though, who to be honest has completely outshunned so far, finds Neymar to make it 2-1. 62 minutes on the clock. Still time for Juve to get back in it, but still time for that old lady to find out what happens when you mess with the GOAT. Julio Kevin Fuentes. 92 on the clock. Ricky Puig driving a beauty to Fatty, who crosses it in for Fuentes.
Nope.
Wojciech Szczesny, you are a son of a bitch, and I hope your mum gets... No, don't be too mean. I hope your mum gets mono. Mono's not lethal, right? Yeah, I hope your mum gets mono. You prick. As you can see, though, I always say it. Just get me there. Just get me to the Champions League final, and I'll get it done. I haven't lost a Champions League final in about 21 years. And I picked up sticks when I was 3 years old, so I lost it once when I was like 3. Picked up sticks again and said, never again. I was a very bad loser. I probably actually just broke the controller and ran off crying to my mummy that the computer was cheating. But moving swiftly on, we're into Season 3. Julio Fuentes has now earned the number 19. And you know what comes with the number 19? Not much, to be honest. He's still a bit gash. 81 rated now. But when you see Anti-Fatty's 88 rated and you see the ratings of the rest of the young players like Pedri and Araujo, it's not much to shout about. But you know what is much to shout about? A second consecutive Champions League final. Manchester City versus Barcelona. Man City go 1-0 up. I'm not going to play every Champions League final because it's already a 50-minute long video, and I'm going to be real, I feel like most people are going to see that start time, and because I think it's fair to say 90% of my viewership are Fortnite kids with mad ADHD, they're probably not going to get all the way through it. I'm saying this right now, if you get through this whole 50-minute video, I will genuinely send you a pack of Mary Lane cookies. Unless you're under 18, because I can't be asking under 18s for their address, because that is very noncy. You know who else is a nonce? Pep Guardiola. Prick beat me 2-0. But had Yusuf Demir. He arrived at the same time as Fuentes and has already risen to the ranks of 86. Better than Lionel Messi, might I add. So we sent him back in, and we thought it's about time we piss off some Arsenal fans, because you know Barcelona back in the day, they love signing any Arsenal player with a hint of potential. They got him in. Martinelli, we signed him. We're not going to play him. He's like our fourth choice left winger. He's not a danger to Fuentes because he can't play right wing. We're not going to play him at all. He's not going to get any minutes. But I just thought Barcelona love shitting on Arsenal fans' hopes and dreams, and I thought I'd get that done because I refused to sign Smith Rowe and Saka. So many contracts. Oh my god. No wonder this took bloody 12 hours to record. I spent at least 8 of that doing contracts. Fuentes up to 86 and up to his usual tricks of being absolute dog shit. Yeah, this isn't going great, but he is only 19. He's only 19. Messi still had the number 19 at this point. Fuentes still has number 19 at this point. Maybe when he earns that mystical number 10 shirt that is currently held by Neymar, not Ronaldinho. Who am I? Speaking of who are you, Real Madrid thought they'd make an offer for Pedri, which I didn't even get back to them. I just frankly rejected because it's Pedri. I mean, they think they can take the best player from the number 1 team in the league. Fuentes, 88 rated, 19 years old, Champions League final. He hasn't made his mark yet. He got an assist in the Europa League. He got an assist in the Champions League. But he hasn't had that game. He hasn't had that game that says, I am the best player in Europe. Ronaldo probably had it for Man United. I'm too old to remember. I'm getting dementia or something. Also, if you wonder why we're doing Neymar, you know, we've got to give him some tough love sometimes because, as I've said previously, his relationship with loved ones is interestingly close. But as I was saying, it's time for Fuentes to take a stand, yoinking the ball, driving it home. Julio Kevin Fuentes makes, well, why are you going to have to do him like that? Why do you have to do him like that, EA? Julio Kevin Fuentes scores his first goal in 12 Champions League games and chops in, breaks his defender's ankles cracked, hearts broken, Fuentes awoken. 2 goals in the Champions League final. I did lock onto him. I made him, so basically it's like a beer pro mode. I took control of Fuentes only I locked onto him. Let me know if you don't know how to do that, by the way. I'll leave like a tutorial or something in the description. And he is taking control of his destiny. 3-0 revenge. It was truly on the cards and it was soon to be completed. Fuentes finding... Who did he find? Dani Olmo. Forgot I signed him. Dani Olmo for the 4th. And yet again, 4 years, 3 European trophies, 2 Champions Leagues. La Decima. We're coming for you. We got 15 years because they're going to force me into retirement. I'm going to get my own personal La Decima. I'm going to make sure Fuentes goes down as the most winningest player of all time. The number 10 shirt came. And a new contract came with it. Yes, boys and girls, here we go. I can announce Julio Fuentes, new 4-year deal. Here we go. I'm not gonna lie, paying a 20-year-old 155 grand a week might partially be the reason that Barca are broke, and that is why it was also time to get rid of Neymar. Ronaldinho's era had come and gone. It was time for Samuel Eto'o's ancestor, I guess, to step forward. Weirdly enough, there's really not that many good African strikers around at the moment. So Osimhen was the only logical choice. Someone thought they'd come for Harujo, but I said nope. Julio Fuentes 90 rated and still only scored 6 goals halfway through the season. Even though, as you saw a minute ago, I set his tactics to be as attacking as possible. But there's one trophy we hadn't won yet. The Spanish Super League. It had evaded us. And I'm going to say this right now. If you've never searched Messi versus Athletic Bilbao, do yourself a favour, pause the game and do it now. Because he tends to score a lot of worldies against Bilbao. A lot like this from Harvey Barnes.
Now Harvey Barnes. Oh, Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
Get in.
Messi tends to do stuff like that against Bilbao a lot. And he did one in the Spanish Super Cup final before. As you can see, I'm speaking casually because Fatty soon equalised. But I'd just like to point out Romario Barro, Moussa Dembele, Farias, Harvey Barnes, Florian Neuhaus, David Alaba. The Basque rule on FIFA not existing is so infuriating because it's so lazy. And you could say, oh yeah, but you know, how do you know who's a Basque player and how do you know who's a... Just make it the Spanish rule. Yes, I'm very excited Julio Fuentes just scored to make it 3-1. Yes, but I'm ranting right now. EA, at least just make it so you can only sign Spanish players or something, man. Like, come on. Stop being lazy. Julio Fuentes gets a brace. I said Messi made his name at a young age in these Super Copa finals. Semi-final, 2-1 down. Fuentes leads the comeback and leads us to glory in 97th minute for his second rather. God, you can tell this long video. I'm already going insane. I'm absolutely insane. Shout out to everyone who likes Doc's Pepper, by the way. You're a real one. It's the only thing getting my throat through this video right now. Second in the league because we lost to Atletico de Madrid in the second to last game of the season, and also lost to the Man City again in the Champions League, meaning the Spanish Cup was the only trophy we'd win. But you know, we got a partition trophy because Fuentes got up to 92 rated. Still a bit crap, but he did reach 20 goals for the first time, so you know, he's getting there. If you fancy seeing his stats, you know, cheeky little stats page for you boys and girls, you fancied seeing it. But on to another season. The board thankfully didn't sack me, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to say it's because of my past achievements, because EA don't give a shit about past achievements. But the pressure was on. We had to make big deals, and this was one of the biggest. Harry Suter, we nearly lost him, boys and girls. He didn't want to sign an extension. I went in myself. I got the job done. 76 rated. Big Harry Suter is a crucial part of that locker room. He is the star cheerleader for that team. That blonde hair blinds all of the opponents. Speaking of blinding, I'm going to go blind soon if Fuentes doesn't hurry up and actually be good. Still haven't got the Spanish job, by the way. Yes, I will be taking the Spanish job internationally as well. As you can see my past team. It's just because, you know, half of Messi's glory was finally winning that Copa America. If we're going to beat Messi, if we're going to beat the GOAT, the greatest of all time, internationally is where we're going to do it. He's never won a World Cup. He's never won a European Cup. As Fuentes makes an absolute bell end of himself. If we can prove ourselves internationally, they're going to start talking about us the same vein they talk about Messi. And if we can keep scoring goals like Kevin Fuentes does there's going to be an argument. Osimhen driving forward finds Kevin Fuentes 4-2-0. Yes, he's officially renamed Kevin now. Because Julio, he don't take no O's. He has no zeros. Lads, it's 2 AM. Give me a break, please. I know you're probably all physically cringing. I'm physically cringing right now as well because I know what's about to happen next. Ter Stegen at this point is 97 rated, by the way. 97 rated. And he just dropped the ball not once, not twice, but 3 times. Or it's actually twice, I'm pretty sure, but you know, shut up. Who's good at counting at 2 AM in the morning? So, we go into extra time. Yusuf Demir, Francisco Trincao, the forgotten boys, the ones who were sent to the back of the queue when Fuentes arrived. Show me exactly why, because they did absolutely nothing in extra time as Bayern went on to score and win the whole thing. And I would actually get sacked there. But it's my save, so screw you, I reloaded, because what is the entire point of this whole thing if I'm going to get sacked? And it was time to make a big move. Bayern, I hope you know you made me do this. Kylian Mbappe joins the team. You were thinking he's going to get in Fuentes' way, ain't he? No, because if you know Lionel Messi, you'll know he soon became central for a little bit. Ansu Fati on the right, Kylian Mbappe on the left, Kevin Julio Fuentes straight through the middle. It's finally working. He's finally top scorer. He's 22, man. This has gone on for so long. And he got the Spain job. Things were going so well, lads. Things were going so well, and we were entirely going to use it and the Spain job to steal all of Spain's good youth players for ourselves. We were fully going to buy Munich this whole thing. I don't care. I mean, just wait till you see this young lad at the bottom of the screen. Little man Garcia.
And
You're
you,
about
young
to see him.
Skywalker. We will watch your career with great
We
interest.
certainly will watch your career with great interest. Why am I turning to Harry Kane? Champo final again. As you can see, Messi has promptly been dropped and sent to the Docklands to work with his father. PSG moved on to their new toy. And we avenged our goal. We sent PSG packing. We sent them to the Docklands. 4-1. Fuentes with the fourth. Barca, the double winners yet again. We actually got eliminated. Ansu Fati, suck my dick. You're stealing all of his thunder, you prick. Mbappe, to be fair, he barely scored in the first half of the season, so we're pretty happy with how he did in the end. But we had some nationals to do. We had the European Championship. As I said, Messi's never won a European Championship, so if we win this, we got some good. Who the hell was Goochard? Excuse me, Goochard. Is that Goochard? Hell of a name. But Rodrigo, which is Rodri and Oyarzabal, would put us plus front. Oh my god. 89 rated? I do not mind if I do. I've just been scammed. Oh, I hate you game. Sorry, back onto European Championship. Sorry. Messi's never won the Euros. If Fuentes does it, he's got a shout. He's got a shout. Oh my good god. We won on penalties. Some idiot subbed off Fuentes, so that's probably why it got that far. But we were into the semis against Germany, and you know I always say I don't like semis. If I'm going hard, I'm going all the way. I don't deal with semis. I keep losing track of what's happening. We did sign a guy I thought was Messi's regen for a little bit. Then I checked the birthdays and promptly found out he absolutely wasn't. So I just got scammed out of 100 million for some random Argentinian kid. Now I know how Alex Ferguson felt when he sent 7 million on Bebe. It's nearly 2030 now, so I'm assuming if you account for inflation, 7 million back then is probably the equivalent to 100 million. Which is a really depressing thought for our future, so I'm sorry for bringing that one up. But Zone, Quackers, CJ, you're Clutch Justice for a reason. If you didn't know, my real name is CJ. The C stands for Clutch, the J stands for Justice. And speaking of justice, we have some there, as Unai Simon makes a huge save. Ansu Fati drives forward. He finds Julio Fuentes, who once again does something Messi could only dream of, scoring to put us 1-up in the Euros. Fati driving forward. The man was like 94 rated by now. He was an absolute animal. Some would argue he is the real GOAT of this team, to be quite honest, and No, I was like, no, not really.
Aw.
Yeah, prick. Just ignore him, yeah? Just ignore Ansu Fati. He pops up from time to time. Speaking of popping up, Hal Felix. 126 million.
Why you being a dickhead for?
126 million spent on you. They probably should have just spent it on Hal Cancelo, because holy shit, what a finish. Speaking of finishes though, boys and girls, I'm so good at segueing. We would be a success. Julio Fuentes, he always does it in Europe. And he makes every other country feel the Brexit force. Look at him there, standing aloft next to the number 2 Sergi Reguilon, as we would lift the Euros. On to next season though, and on to Real Sociedad absolutely being massive pricks again. And I looked through their team. You wonder, why are you looking through their team? They only beat you once. It could be a fluke, right? You know, just don't read too much into it, quite, because it's okay, man. They also won the league. I'm not quite sure how they're so good. And they won the treble. They didn't win the Supercoppa. We lost the final of that, just, you know, to make things a bit better. They didn't win the treble, actually. I'm speaking too soon. They went out in the next round to Hertha Berlin. And it might be something to do when your 96 rated striker is barely scoring above 20 a season. Not barely scoring, isn't scoring above 20 a season. Now I know what my dad meant when he called me a failure of a man and a son. This is how he felt, Julio. You're my son, and you're failing me. Soon enough I will leave you. I will go to the store to get some milk, and I won't come back, because believe me, I like milk. In fact, after this video I'm going to need some, because my throat is already killing me. But, just signed Jude Bellingham from Sociedad. No reason for that, really. Just, they pissed me off, so I thought I'd get it done. Ansu Fati, 95 rated. The wage bill. Really, I generally think this is what they must have done in real life, though, you know? Just delegated renewal on everyone. As you can see, though, Jude Bellingham gone. We're looking like Julio, because we're seeing a whole lot of O's in that L section, but I don't even want to talk about it. Ter Stegen, who once got to 97 rated. Boys and girls, he peaked. I know, it's cool seeing Fuentes as 96 rated. He's only 24. I know, it's really awesome seeing him, but Ter Stegen peaking, it hit me hard, man. I'm not gonna. It genuinely did. Him and Frankie de Jong are the backbone of this team. Nestor Arujo, he's a good lad too, but Frankie de Jong and Ter Stegen, I'm not even ready to see Frankie peak. But boys and girls, we were back. La Liga was here, and we wanted to make it ours. Fuentes puts us 1-0 in front of Atletico de Madrid. Soon, it would become 2. It would soon even become 3. And come the 90th minute, it was time for your boy to pop back from the shops and back into this game. Because I don't think they felt enough of the force. I don't think they felt enough of the pain. Fuentes with, frankly, a quite disgusting ball to Fati, who finds Mbappe, and Kylian Mbappe Lotin would seal the deal. The new Thierry Henry, playing Thierry Henry's old role. They signed on Henry Frost, the bastard. I really hate Barcelona. But sealing the deal and sealing yet another La Liga title for the boys in maroon, and I'm sorry, I forgot. If there are any Barca fans, which I know there are, I know Gopal, the absolute idol, is a Barca fan. Please tell me what you think of this kit, because my god, they've butchered it. I don't know why they love zooming on fan shoulders, by the way. They do this. It's not me. It's not my editing. They just genuinely love zooming in on fan shoulders, seemingly. I think a guy has a fetish or something whenever there's a title celebration. We saw it a couple years ago for the first, and we're seeing it again now, though. A third of the way through the save. And Frankie de Jong still going strong, lifting those trophies aloft. And that wouldn't be his only one. Because boys and girls, we were back. There was no Real Sociedad to get in our way. The old lady, the old foe. They stood tall and they stood in front of us once more. But it was soon time for the old lady to fall. Barcelona, Piemonte Calcio, the BTEC Audi's own version of Juventus. And you know, that's not even an insult because Audi bangs. And anyone who doesn't think Audi bangs, your mum's a slut. She gives cunnilingus to homos. Don't know how that works, but it does. Also, I don't know how anyone watches the simulation screen. I'm going to have a video of FIFA 04 eventually when I can be able to download it. As you can see, when the Champions League final, it was really cool. We also lost some FIFA 04 simulator was so clear. Oh man, was so clear of FIFA 22's. Believe me, when I release the video, you're going to see it. But the World Cup was here. If you're wondering what this was to do with, I may have given Mbappe a 1.7 million pound a week contract. Don't mind me. Oh, you met David Felicio, so you want to go off once? You want to go? Too fucking bad, mate. Moving swiftly on. As expected, the World Cup was here. And we would be meeting Poland in the semi-finals. Unsurprisingly, we would dispatch Poland in the semi-finals. And go on to the World Cup final. Espanyol versus Angleterre. Why, whenever I do a Barcelona, I love the idea of there being a Sol Campbell Tifo. Can you imagine if all the legends England pick? Who are we going to put a Tifo up of? Bobby Moore, Bobby Charlton, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Gary Lineker. They all shit compared to Pedri. And they're all even shitter compared to Kevin Fuentes. But we're going to put up a Tifo of big Sol Campbell. But England, they would bottle it. Fuentes would find room and only sting the palms of Dino Henderson. What a man. But you don't give Kevin Fuentes 2 tries because he generally just left the keeper flabbergasted. Watch the replay, watch the keeper. He generally just looks at the ball. I don't think I've ever seen a man so scared in my life. I generally think he was scared if he tried to save this, he might hurt himself. He didn't even have time to dive or react. He just... Well, Bellingham's getting sold. How dare you, prick. But anyway, as I was saying, Fuentes strikes fear in the strike zone 1. To such an extent, the opponent literally passes the ball to him so he can score a second. Julio, Kevin Fuentes, European Championship winger, World Cup winger, Messi, you are no longer fit for the GOAT discussion. You are no longer fit to lace Julio Fuentes' boots. Boys and girls, it feels so good as Pau Torres lifts the World Cup again. Spain, yes, greedy pricks, you don't have to win everything. Oh my god, we're 6th in the league. And wait, no. What?
What?
I hate you, Mikel Oyarzabal. What is happening? We barely scraped through. Oh, at least we're on the Europa League. We barely scraped through the Champions League. Watford got into the round of 16 in the Champions League.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm gonna get sacked again. Fuentes, he's nearly scored 30 goals, so that's cool. My son's finally actually living up to my expectations, which I'm not really someone to have high expectations because
Now I'm panicking.
Don't panic.
No, I am, because I'm going to lose my job.
because I use bald nonce memes in a video. So, you know, I'm not the absolute beacon of glory. But, boys and girls, people are saying I've peaked. People are saying I reached my limit. It's 2031. There's 5 years left. We are 2/3 of the way through. And people are saying I don't have it anymore. People are saying I've gone the way of Mourinho. I've peaked early and now I'm falling off a cliff. My style of football's outdated, overplayed. And I'm not going to lie. I was worrying until I saw I was first in the Champions League. And walked through my Champions League group. First in Champions League. You can really tell it's 2 AM at night when I'm commentating this. Boys and girls, Kevin Fuentes has also peaked. It's going to take him 280 days to reach 98. Boys and girls, it's time to pray. Pray to the FIFA gods. We need Fuentes to reach 99 rated. Well, this video is... I hate you, Yazma, you prick. We need Fuentes to reach 99 rated. And winning the Champions League... Genuinely, I'm about to go to San Sebastian and fight someone. I even started looking at the global transfer market. No one looks at this thing. No one uses it. Because it's shit. I didn't even find anyone from it. I just found this Jaime Garcia, whatever his name is, and Michalski, who are already on my shortlist because, you know, I'm a scout. I'm a scouting demon and I'm going to need to be scouting people. If you're wondering how I find players, sorry, to Steak News just hit me pretty hard. I was basically just accepting any offer from like big national teams, looking through their national team pool and then signing their best players. It's a very effective tactic for finding players because the global transfer market, it is dog shit. And it did find me Rami, who I'm going to need, to be honest, because Fuentes, he's going to need his CDM, he's going to need his Frankie de Jong, or we're not going to be able to reach the heights we once reached. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Rami can help us. Finally back in the Champions League final, 4 years from the end. What just happened? Marc-Andre ter Stegen has just considered a header from outside of the box. I get it, mate. You're 41 years of old. You're about to get your Oyster card. But I'm going to send you on a bus. If you're not... No, I'm not even going to send you on a bus. I'm going to send you... You and Ryan Gravenberch meet me outside. Yes, I'm bringing the shotgun. We needed a hero. So you already knew who was going to step up. Julio Fuentes finds the top corner. Gives us some parity. 1-1 6 minutes in. Florentina's lead did not last long. Florentina, if you're surprised they got it, you shouldn't be. They have like 492 plus rated players. But we have Kylian Mbappe, and he's 99 rated. And he does shit like that. Yes, I am pausing for effect. I hope it's very effective. It's meant to add emphasis. I once took an acting class. I was kicked out for stabbing everyone, but I was also playing a roadman and I was a method actor. Lads, I'm so tired. Please, take me out back with ter Stegen and Gravenberch. Mbappe though bangs it top bins, and soon enough Pedri would scrap through, tackle after tackle, man after man. Fuentes with the tap in, all Kevin Fuentes. Obviously Pedri with the delight of being able to assist. Yet another brace for Kevin Julio Fuentes in another Champions League final. God, Pedri, I'm so jealous. And yet again, Frankie de Jong. Yes, he may have peaked. Yes, he may be on the decline. But yet again, Frankie de Jong is looking like a young man reinvigorated as he gets to lift yet another Champions League final. This man must soon be named. It must be soon, where he is named the greatest Barcelona captain of all time. Nearly 10 years with the armband, leading trophy after trophy. All thanks to your boy, Quackers TV. But a salute to our fallen comrade, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Gone, but certainly never forgotten. 2033 now, boys and girls. Just 3 seasons left to get Kevin Julio Fuentes up to 99 rated. As expected, we are once again dominating the league, but this is just painful. Mbappe's now going as well because he refused to sign a new deal, and to be honest, I don't know how he can dare. He scored 4 goals in 23. 4 in 23. We're in the Champions League final somehow, and this man out here is demanding that 750k isn't enough to stop. What was that beach? Oh, shut up, kidding. I'm sorry. Thought so. I guess it's fair enough when you score like 28 goals in 6 months. You can ask for whatever you want. But Napoli, our easiest Champions League final yet. Finally we get some luck in this thing. We play the boys out. Mbappe's farewell game for the club, and excuse me, I'm just going to kill myself. Boys and girls, if you've gotten through this so far, shout out to all of you, and shout out to everyone who knows that Milky Way stars are the dominant chocolate brand. Gouchard, the replacement for Mbappe, and clearly it's paying off. Clearly something isn't paying off is Fuentes' 750 grand a week contract. But just like my dick when I saw it, that boy grew. 98 rated, just 1 rating to go. Like every man wishes he could have 1 more inch on his penis. Like every 5'11" boy wishes he could have I hate you, Mikel Oyarzabal. 1 more inch of his height. We just need 1 more rating for Julio Fuentes to reach 99. If you're wondering, Ansu Fati never did. He peaked at 98. Kevin Julio Fuentes, if he can reach that 99 rating that only Kylian Mbappe has reached on this game, he will go down as the greatest of all time. But can he do it? As you can see, final season now, the final push, boys and girls. There is our team. It is honestly just disgusting. Finally, Julio Fuentes gets it done. 99 rated, boys and girls. This took 12 hours to record. I didn't do it in one sitting. I know it was 12 hours because I edited the footage. I didn't sit down for 12 hours because I have a life. Kevin striking for everyone, the slender man looking fuck. 6'5", 121 pounds. I guess, boys and girls, that is the dominant male body, and we're all just gonna have to accept it. But will we go out with a banger or whimper? It is time to decide. Dortmund, all that stands before us from the Champions League final, please. I don't know what happened in the first leg, but I do see that little beauty in the bottom right. AC Milan Champions League final. Not just that, boys and girls. Almeria, final game of the season. How about it, lads? 1 last ride in the Spanish league. 1 last trophy lift for Frankie de Jong. Julio Fuentes, finally the top scorer in Spain and the top scorer in the team. 15 seasons I waited. 15! And finally my man has reached 99 rated. And we're losing. We're actually losing. Pedrito finds Gouchard, who finds Fuentes. Boys and girls, if you're wondering why I took charge of this game, firstly it's because I wanted to use 99 rated Fuentes, who, if you just saw that control to stop the ball in the line, he was pretty disgusting. let alone his finishing, which was a literal rocket. I'm pretty sure NASA will be taking DNA samples from that right foot. But I also wanted to make sure Julio Fuentes finished top scorer in the league. And after this battering, after 26 goals, I can confirm he did. But he certainly wasn't goal of the season because, my God, Pedri has just scored a goal so good. It's to him. I don't know what to say. It was just really good. It was really good. My keeper selling all game. Pedri said, "Sell this, you prick. You're gonna need a condom because I'm about to penetrate your whole defense, and it will be unsolicited." Smashing it, half volley, 30 yards out, top bins, 98 rated is that Pedri, and you can see why. Alright, now Andrew, you're just showing off now, and that's just rude. 6-1, 47 minutes, it shouldn't surprise anyone. We are the greatest team in history after all, which actually isn't an exaggeration, because basically the entire team at this point was 92 or more rated. Michalski though, he'd flick it over. Fuentes scores yet another. 7-1. If there was a final ride in Spain, this was how I wanted to go out. Sipping margaritas, slapping bitches, and loving all of my riches. But Almeria, they wouldn't give up. They would keep scrapping. And Nestor Araujo would show exactly why we moved swiftly on from him. Just want to talk though. The guy who didn't score the score, you might have seen him in that bottom right corner. This guy didn't score, but decided before the goal had even gone in, he would start a crab rave rather. At 7-2 down. Fair play, lads. If you still watch it at this point, put crab rave down in the chat, by the way. Or anyone who does. I'm saying this now. Everyone who has watched it this far, every single comment I'll put into my next video, I promise you. Everyone, put crab rave down if you watch this far, and I'll put your comment front and centre in my next video. There we have it though. Frankie de Jong, he had to come off, he had a family emergency, so he wouldn't get to deliver it. Ryan Gravenberch, his Dutch colleague, would do so. Boys and girls though, we ain't done. This is a nearly 50-minute video, and if I didn't go out winning the Champions League, it wouldn't feel right. One more run in the Champions League final. As you can see, Fuentes, 26 goals in 38 games. Finally winning the Pichichi. And finally top scorer over that prick Ansu Fati. There are his final stats before I am forced into retirement early. Holy shit, what a player. That's all I can say. Not very agile, but he is 6'5". So you can't get mad at that. But boys and girls, 29 years of age, it wouldn't feel right if we didn't bring this man back. It just wouldn't. Mbappe, as you can see, it's not gone great for him for left. We went in the streets, so we went to the streets of Paris and we picked him back up. I couldn't end this game with any bad blood. Mbappe is a legend of this club, and he had to be here on my final game, so we re-signed Kylian and we gave him the start. 84 rated, Michalski shits on him, Gouchard shits on him even further. But this was it. Honestly, it's a little emotional because I've had to put so much effort into this video, recording this, editing this. It's been mad, and I do want to make more long form content, to be honest. Especially if it brings in players like Julio Fuentes who can dribble from the halfway line constantly with ease. So let me know if you enjoyed. But we would go in 0-0 at half time. We dominated the whole thing. We battered them. We left them crying and begging for more. They were lucky their shorts. They were lucky their shorts were dark to hide the shit stains. And I'm lucky my shorts are yellow to hide the piss stains because I'm pissing myself. Because if I lose the last Champions League final, I'm going to look like a bit of a dickhead. And it would have been much worse for us if Frankie de Jong wasn't coming up with huge tackles. And here comes Michalski on the pitch. We had to take Mbappe off. He wasn't cutting it. And neither's past that. It comes to Clemi, who also came on for de Jong. Pedri to Michalski to Pedri to Fuentes. Yes, I'm whisper shouting because it is 2 AM and I'm not an inconsiderate prat. But boys and girls, Julio, Kevin Fuentes gives us parity. And Jude Bellingham would find him to give us the lead. 2-1, Fuentes with his brace, Milan. Boys and girls, it's lucky the fashion shows your capital because you're going to need a fashion update because you are certainly going out of fashion. I've said fashion so much now, it doesn't even sound like a real word at this point. Ansu Fati, 69th minute, would look a bit sexual too, rounding the keeper and tapping it home. 3-1 to the boys. We would get it done. We would win our final game. We would not go into that dark night quietly. We would rise, we would roar, and we would fight. Nestor Arujo would be the man to lift the trophy because de Jong, as I said, would have to be substituted off. EA, please fix the lack of number on youth players glitches. Could you imagine, by the way, how horribly awkward this save would be if Fuentes had the youth glitch, where it takes away numbers or gives him like super skinny arms? I mean, he's 120 pounds, so to be fair, it would have been realistic if he had super skinny arms. These arms are a bit hench. Nearly a goal contribution a game, which is about as good as I got for him. But honestly, it took me about 15 restarts to get Kevin Fuentes. And yes, his name is Kevin Fuentes now. So, honestly, did he live up to Messi? Is he the new GOAT? Probably not. Is he a damn good player? Absolutely. As you can see, I'm going to scroll through the seasons now just so you can see a quick reminder of how each one went. But boys and girls, honestly, I'm going to say it once more. This took me over a full day of editing, recording, commentating to get done. I started editing this at 8 AM. Obviously I took breaks in between because if you want to get fucked up back, you sit down for 14 hours straight, so I wasn't going to do that. It's now 2:45 AM in the morning the next day. This has taken me so long, so if you have gotten this far, first of all, now, if you've gotten this far, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you. I plan to do a lot more long form content. I don't know, I keep getting that wrong. Content. There we go. As you can see, it forced me into retirement. So let me know how you thought, what you thought, if you enjoyed it. Obviously, the long form content will go after shorter content as well. You know, mix and match. Make sure everyone gets a little bit of what they love. Spread the love. Quacky is a magnanimous guy. I am omnibenevolent. But boys and girls, that is the final record. To all of you who've gotten this far, you've been, honestly, you're just legends. You're not even just a lovely audience. You are my best friends for now. We are best friends. We are family. We are Crackers Crew. We stand tall. We stand strong. And we stand long. Boys and girls, peace.